Now the challenge came when I decided to give my search for a career full time, apart from my homemaking duties, of course. My children were old enough to be independent. My youngest was in 8th grade. One was off to college, one was in high school. And the times changed. So I set off to find auditions. My first job with a professional company was in Pheasant Run, which is St. Charles, Illinois. It's about an hour and 10-minute commute. I would go up and back 6 nights a week for $35 because I was not yet a member of the union. But how I loved it. I was cast as the neighbor, Mrs. Potts, in that wonderful show called Picnic. I met other actors. I learned by osmosis so many things about theater in Chicago. And then my next foray into the theater was at the Drury Lane on the South Side in Beverly, another long commute. I played the sister of Virginia Graham in a part that was written by Gertrude Goldberg, Gertrude Berg, the famous Molly Goldberg. I had many auditions. Most of them you don't get, but I wanted to raise my profile so that casting directors would remember me and perhaps call me back. After some auditions, I was so disappointed that I didn't remember to ask the right questions, that I didn't get enough background, that I made poor choices, and I would beat myself up on the way back to the garage to get my car. And then I began to think, oh my goodness, is there enough milk in the refrigerator? Did I take the car keys? Will Sam need the car keys? A million things filled my mind, and I thought, not of the audition, but everything that was at home. And I realized now how young people, when they try to get into this business, and they're disappointed, and they go back to a place where there are no rewards, a little room, a room shared with 3 or 4 other actors, living like rabbits in a hutch. No wonder they comfort themselves with liquor, sex, dope. People need to find comforts. They need to find rewards. And I was so glad at the beginning of my career that I had children and a home and a husband that nourished my spirit. When my granddaughter, Nora, a very talented actress, wanted to move to California, I cautioned her. I said, there will be many disappointments, many rejections. The first thing you do when you get there is find a place where you will get rewards, whether it's a day job or a volunteer job, in an animal shelter, in a nursing home, some place where they will look forward to your coming, appreciate that you're there. You need that comfort in your life to be wanted and needed, because you will be rejected many times. So that's how I look upon the plight of young actors trying to break in today. It's so hard, much harder than when I started. When I started, all you had to do was be in 2 professional shows and you got your equity card. Now they have to jump through hoops, and it takes some years and a far greater initiation fee than I had to pay. I think it was like $100 when I joined the union, and now it's maybe a couple of thousand. So I benefited from those days. The off-loop movement was starting, and there were many, many theaters to audition for and work to do. And I was glad I didn't get cast more than twice a year, but that was enough. That was enough because it gave me the motivation to keep trying. And it's hard to work more than twice a year. It's hard to get cast because shows don't dovetail each other in their programs. You can be cast in something in June, but the next offer you want might start rehearsal in July while you're still working, so you can't even go to that audition.